George Jurand, you're with the San Francisco Sheriff's Department. Do you have anything to add about the NOVA program?
That's a hard act to follow. But if you notice, this whole panel, there were some threads, there were some themes. You can't not put money into the jails and prisons to start treatment there. And you cannot leave the money out and the support once they get out. And you cannot leave the community out of the process. And you can't leave those who have survived the perils of crime, those who have been inflicted by violence. I'll give you a story. I have a mentor. I met him in the county jail in 1987. And I never heard a young man ever tell me this. He said, "G, I don't want no babies. I don't want to bring them into this world." That was then. In 97, I met him again. In 2000, I met him, and he still was functioning. He worked for Muni. He stayed out of trouble. Then he got back in trouble when Muni let him go. I feared for this young man's life because he was telling me that he had some funk with some people right when NOVA started. So I talked to the program people at NOVA, and I said, he needs to get in NOVA. He needs to get the heck out of San Francisco. See, a lot of people are getting out of jail going back to a place where there's some funk. Some people need to get out of the city. We need to have relationships with other cities and move people around, because you can't kill nobody you can't find. So one day I was talking to my coworker, and I get a call at 7:30 in the morning. He said, I just got shot in the head. I'm talking to him on the cell phone. I just had a conversation with my coworkers about this individual. He got shot in the head. He went to the hospital. He's not working. He's got the prettiest little baby. So he's selling drugs. He gets in the hospital. They can't take the bullet out, but they take dope out of his you know what. They came to him and they said, "Who shot you?" He wouldn't tell. They arrested him. When he gets to jail, guess who's in jail with him? The shooter. So thank God today that through the process of NOVA and people being available, he is safe today. He's back on track. And the other part of it is mentorship, men and women. Men and women. For the last 6 years, men have been going into that jail from the community, because there's got to be a connection, as Cedric talked about. Because the disconnect, people in jail, everybody I spoke to, "Gee, I want to give back." But if you want to give back and you don't have the form to give back, what you going to give back? And eventually you're going to get discouraged and say, all that wasn't worth it. So NOVA to me is a blessing, because never before have violent offenders got anything.
That's right.
So now they have an opportunity. Those that want to, those that volunteer can do it. And that intensive case management, it works. I know about 20 clients in NOVA that now they hang out down at 850 Bryant. I ain't never seen no mess like that. They down there every day congregating, because you know why? Today they feel safe. Today they feel cared about. And today they feel that they're part of something. When you feel part of something, then your self-esteem and the way you perceive yourself changes. So I agree with this young man. We need to extend it inside and out. And from that perspective, the question I want to leave with you out here is, what can you bring to the table? I challenge the churches, I challenge the community. They need to start coming to the table, because if we're going to turn it around, it's not going to be just law enforcement. It's not going to be these CBOs. It's going to be a collective of all San Francisco citizens, businesses, to come to the table to say, hey, here's a helping hand.
We have run out of time for this panel discussion. I'd like to thank all of our panelists who were part of This afternoon's session, Rudy Aguilar with the Parolee Services Network with the Department of Public Health, Kenneth Rogers, Senior Ex-Offender Program, Ronald Sanders with the Transitions Clinic, Kyle Sporleader and Therese Rodriguez with Project What, Cedric Akbar with Positive Directions Equals Change, No Violence Alliance, George Jurand, No Violence Alliance, San Francisco Sheriff's Department, Abdul Aziz with No Violence Alliance, and Corinne Pope, former parent-client with Children of Incarcerated Parents, Office of the Public Defender. Could we have a round of applause for all our panelists?
So what do we do now?
And we have another panel discussion coming up in just a few minutes, Inside and Out, Increasing Access to Appropriate Services and Resources. I hope you can stay with us.